Hello family, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. Another amazing day in the market. A lot of excitement, a lot of things happened today in my portfolio. I even got that little notification, the margin call notification. But of course, I spent a lot of money, over 100 grand, right, on Wednesday. So we got some dividend coming into the portfolio today, and tomorrow we're gonna have, see how much money came into the portfolio. But like I said, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm 52 years old and I make video about my portfolio and my portfolio alone, so do not take this as financial advice. But this is how you go from rags to riches within 5 years, okay? This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a process. It takes time. It takes learning and understanding the whole process on how to invest, right? For a long term and get to that next level. Okay, guys? So with that said, as we continue to grow this channel and go to 3,000 subscribers, of course, you guys know I need your support. So subscribe to the channel, like and share the content, guys. I appreciate you. All right. So as you can see, the S&P 500 did its thing today. Not a lot of red. Another day, right? Even though my portfolio been kind of horrible, but S&P 500 been doing its thing. You see, Berkshire Hathaway, JPM, Tesla is up today, 3.20 something percent. Meta, Microsoft. Meta is red, but Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, Broadcom, Amazon, Netflix, to name a few, is kind of balanced out, right? So it's not a bad day in the market, okay? Now, let's look at some crypto real quick and see before we get into the actual portfolio. Bitcoin is down a little bit today, right? It's down in the last 24 hours, 1.94%. It's actually up in the last 24 hours. It's actually up in the last hour, 0.3%. Ethereum is down in the last hour, 0.38%, but in the last 7 days, it is up 3.46%. Okay. XRP, of course, it's down in the last 7 days, 10.21%, but it's up 0.8% today. Okay. So I can't go through all of this, guys, okay? But you see what it is. Shiba is now at up today. It's up today in the last hour, 0.6%, but it's down 6.59% in the last 7 days and 1.45% in the last 24 hours. Okay. I would say, you guys, when you invest in crypto, be willing to to lose your money, because this thing go up and down. All right. Now, there was a lot of sell-offs that happened in the past couple of days, especially with these altcoins. A lot of sell-offs, but of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum have been kind of holding its own for a little bit there. But it is what it is, guys. You got to do what works for you. It's not financial advice. Okay, do what works for you. So yesterday, of course, we were down for the week. Let's go down to the week. It looked like for the week we back. We were down, right? $21.74, and for the month we are up $50, right? And for today we up some change, right? $16 and change so far. And then the last 3 months, this portfolio is up $175.52. But if you look at the week, right, for the week, we had a kind of crazy week. So we actually down $21.74 this week. But overall, the portfolio is doing good. Okay, it's not a big number to be down. But, it happens when you got a lot of positions, right? Some of these positions hold their ground and some of these positions don't. That's the good thing that helps when you got a lot of positions compared to if you just have, very few positions in the extreme high yield. So when they're down, your portfolio is going to be down a big number. But of course, with this help kind of balance out the portfolio, and I don't have to really worry about my other positions. Except for my extreme high yield, which I pay more attention to because those are the guys that go down big time. Okay, guys. But like I said, so, we got some dividend into the portfolio, and most of the stuff going to come after the market close later on in the evening. So tomorrow we should have a full picture of how much money came into the portfolio, into this portfolio this week. Okay. Also in here, we have money came into the portfolio, and I already invested a few of those pennies today. I bought some AIYY, some Misty. This is the two I can remember on top of my head that I bought today. But I'm continuing to watch my, and I also bought some CRF. I bought a few shares of CRF today, trying to bring down the cost basis. But like I said, it's a work in progress. We're down 2,400 today, 15% in this portfolio, and it's going to take a little bit more money to bring this stuff down before I can transfer it. But it's a work in progress, so it might happen sooner than later. Only time will tell. Okay, guys. Now, like I said, this is how I went from zero to where I'm at now, to having over $700,000 in my portfolio invested, right? Of course, some of this money is borrowed from and for margins, but most of this is my money. Now, we still down $4,000 across the board in this portfolio as far as profit-wise concerned, but we had a lot of money come into the portfolio today. So, this might change by the end of today. Once everything's settled into the portfolio, this might change, okay? Let's look at costs, not costs, but let's look at the, to see how much money, estimated money coming into the portfolio. Come on, load up. There we go. So right now, this thing is telling me we got about 42, well, it's not saying that's $42,000 coming this month, but it's saying right now, estimated, we should expect about $42,000 this month. I don't think we're going to get that much because this week is the last week, right? Because next, let me see, yeah, today's the 25th. The next time we get paid is on the 1st, even though that income is coming from this week. So, like I said, I keep going back and forth, but however the dividend tracker track it, that's how we're going to go, okay? But next, the payment we'll get next week coming on the 1st, that's payment is in next month, even though it's from the previous week. So how do you calculate that payment? You calculate that for next week or this week? I don't know. So however the tracker want to calculate it, that's how we're going to take it. But I'm looking forward to the next few days, especially the next week, the next few days, to see how things is going to change. Because of course I need to sell a few things, to get out of margin calls. Okay, because I don't want them selling nothing for me. So for now, we're just going to pay attention to the portfolio and see, after everything's settled today with the income that coming into the portfolio, if that margin call is going to go away. But if it don't, then of course I have to sell some of the positions that I bought yesterday. That $100,000 I spent, maybe I'll sell half of stuff in there, to cover that margin. Okay. Let's get down to the big bar. This is the big bar right here. As you can see, we're still down. It's 134,000. That might be off a little bit because of what come into the portfolio today and what. I mean, this is overall, right? So what come into the portfolio today as far as dividend, distributions, and then as we pay attention to see how fast some of these positions are going to recover for next week. I mean, that's pretty much where we are, and continue to grow the portfolio. Like I was just saying, we got right now at 40. If I can keep that momentum at 40 for the next few months, I mean, that would be amazing. With everything that's going on in the portfolio, I think that would be great if we can keep that's going, and increase this income a little bit more, the estimated income a little bit more. I think it's possible. I I think it's possible. I have no idea what we're going to get paid from Misty next week, but by Wednesday we're going to find out, and it depends on what we get paid. That would depends how we reinvest or how we invest back into the portfolio. I mean, even by Tuesday, depending on how well my position recover, by Tuesday, I will be making moves, into Misty and some other positions that either pay weekly or pay, once a month, but that's going to be paying for the next week, right? So we can, increase their income. I mean, even right now, I think I got about 5,000 position in Misty, right? So if they even pay $1, that's $5,000, right? So, but continuing to grow those positions is key, and paying attention to the market. That's why I tell you guys to watch your position, at least 3 times a day. Like I said, it's been tough for me to kind of pay attention right now because with everything going on with work. But I mean, I've been getting there to where, keeping my eye on my positions, right? Because like I said, I just spent over $100,000, not only in my regular portfolio, but I spent another $70-some thousand in my retirement account, right? So of course, we got the dividend, $6,900 from that position, which I don't show here because that's retirement. I can't touch that until I'm 59 and a half. So it don't make no sense for me to put that here and show it to you guys because I can't calculate that. This is the money I can live off now. That money I can't touch it for another 6 years. That's 7 years, right? Yeah, 7 years. 7 years, but I can touch that money. So of course, what would I put in here and calculate it? When I get to where 59 and a half, then I can add that money to my current positions where I can pull money out. Even though I put in money out to pay for my new apartment, but I still got to pay that fee, right? Whatever fee, it depends, right? Because based on what I put into the account, I can take that anytime. So most of the money I'm pulling out is money that I've already invested into the account. Okay. Now let's see if we have any change from. Okay, we still are 9,500,000 in 10 years. Portfolio value at $30 million. I mean, I think anything is possible, right? To be at that point, right? There's so many new products come out every day. Yield Max, Round Hill, Rex, Curve. I mean, there's so many different positions of companies coming out with the extreme high yield stuff. But I mean, Yield Max is kind of the guys. Innovation, kind of innovated, right? That pushed the envelope, and then other companies follow to get it to that next level, right? That extreme high yield with a bunch of different products. So who knows if they're going to be around the next 10 years? No, I have no idea. But at the rate they're growing, the different portfolios, I mean, there's a big chance they're going to be around in the next 10 years. But I mean, of course, as things go, as we continue to grow the portfolio, our strategy will change, right? I don't need $9 million a year. I sure don't. I don't even think I need $1 million a year. But in the beginning, as we built generational wealth and then diversify into other things, maybe back into more real estate or whatever, we need our income right now to come. We need to be able to pay down our margins and grow it back up, pay it down, grow it back up to get it to the point where, making $300,000 a month will be, a no-brainer, right? I know that seems a lot right now, but I remember when I was making $1, $2, $3, and I was like, man, it's gonna take me forever. But my goal was $24,000 a year. That was it. And as soon as I hit my goal of that 24K, I think I was almost at my goal, $23,000, something like that, a year. And I start adding more extreme high yield to my portfolio. I mean, in less than a year, I'm here, of course, along with margins and other things. But I'm not saying go get a margins. It's risky. But if you need to grow your portfolio, it helps. But if the market take a dump right now for the worst, I might be, my account might be done because, I'm overextended with margins right now, which is not a good thing. I tell you guys all the time, not a good thing. but I take risks because I see certain potential, and I take a risk to get there. And of course, trying to close that gap is tough, because trying to increase the income and close the gap is tough. But hopefully, the most recent move that I made will help get the portfolio to the next level. As right now we are at 2.3 million. That's still a lot of money, right? If I decide I'm not going to live in the U.S. and live outside the U.S., I mean, 40 grand, 50 grand is more than enough, right? To where I'm bringing in 400,000, 500,000. Even this is almost $600,000 right now, but even $300,000 a year is still a lot of money, a lot of money, more than I'm ever gonna need to support me and my kids and my significant other, and pay Yara school fees and pay every school fees. It's more than we would need. So I'm grateful, and like I said, I try to tell you guys all the time, remember to have your core positions. Don't take these extreme high yield as a core positions. Okay, go for the dividend kings, the dividend aristocrats, the JP, JEPQ, SCHD, to name a few. Like I said, it's not financial advice, but look in those positions and add them to your portfolio, and be able to balance it out. When you make that money, invest it into something else. If your portfolio is not losing money, put that money into something else that's going to bring you money. It might not be the same rate, but it's still generating some income. Okay, guys. So with that said, going from zero to a $700,000 portfolio, it didn't happen overnight. It took some time, took a lot of risk, right? But we're still here. So anybody can do this. Anybody can do it. You just got to put your mind to it and put in the effort, put in the work. Work 2 jobs, save one, and live up the other, if possible, 1.5. Live up a 1.5 if you need to. But with time and sacrifice, anybody can do it. Okay, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just here to motivate, right, to get more people to invest in the future. Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats is the way to go. With that said, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. We got money coming into the portfolio today, and tomorrow we're going to do our income review video, and hopefully I will have the same smile that I have on my face right now when I start calculating my pennies. Deuces.